You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
Tiny House Live. Good evening, Sonoma County and the greater world around us. This is your professor here, high in the hills of Petticoat. You know, I say Petticoat and people wonder, where is Petticoat, Professor? And I say, you know, I'm actually going to tell you tonight because it's not really a secret tonight. It's actually in Petaluma, and it's off of Pepper Hill. It's off of Pepper Road in Pepper Lane. And this is very important to us tonight in our subject. So know that tonight, brought to you tonight from your professor and his very special guest here in the Tiny House Live. Welcome, my friends. This is a little unusual show for me tonight. You know, I come at you with mirth and merriment and trying to lighten up, and usually I'm the antidote for political comment and things like that. And I try to keep it on the light side, bringing people in and having fun, conversations, and all the good things in life. And this is good because what's happening around us in Pepperland is something really important that affects us all in this county. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about what's going on with the entire No Pot on Pepper, and we've got some special guests here who are going to be chiming in and talking. I've got a very special guest with me tonight that I'm going to be bringing in, and we're going to carry on with some conversations on, you know, the community around us and what's really going on here in Pepperland and really within our board of supervisors in our county and our regulations of laws, and in particular in the laws of cultivation in Sonoma County, and when, where, and how can we do that. So we're going to preface this by saying right straight up front, nobody here is against growing pot. It's not the issue. The issue here is where it's to be done correctly and how it can work to everybody's benefit, because we realize the recreational and the medical use is super important, but the problem here is where it's being grown, and that's what we're going to talk a lot about tonight. So on that subject, I'm going to head straight in and bring in my guest here tonight with me. You know, I'm very blessed to live in this place, and I say it every week. You hear me say it. You hear that, I call it Petticoat because it's halfway between Petaluma and Cotati. I have a hard time choosing which I like more. But, I'm so blessed to be here, and part of that is the community of people that live here on this property, and most important to that is the person I will say is the matriarch. How's that? Matriarch of our, let me spin my microphone around here so I can actually talk correctly. All right, and that would be my friend here, Kate Yates sitting right next to me tonight in Tiny House Live. Let me get myself comfortable. How do I switch in these two positions tonight? It's a little awkward for me. There we go. There we go. Now my head's still bigger than yours.
Can't be having that.
We can't be having that. All right, all right. Hey, Kate, thank you so much. You know, Kate and I live probably 300 feet apart.
Oh, not even that. I'd say it's more like 75 feet.
It really is, actually. And, you know, we see each other. Matter of fact, a half hour before we started the show here, we were chasing down two chickens and cornering because we're trying to figure out who the rooster is in the coop. And we're still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, we have a real woke community here. We have a female goat who went male, and now we've got a female chicken going.
And you were once a sex therapist. Does this have anything to do with it?
Oh my God, let's hope not.
Or is it the water, Kate?
Ghosts of Christmas past. I don't know.
Oh goodness. Well, we're really glad to have you here with us tonight. And like I said, this is a little off subject for where I'm usually at. I'm off on the light side usually, and we're going to be somewhat still light about it. This is a very serious subject and a very concerning subject to all of us here in the hills of Pepperland and Petaluma Road, particularly, and Pepper Lane, because how many you know this area very well, but it's a very small rural area. It's beautiful. It's green. That's why I chose to use Kate's video that she shot last year to kind of show you that in the beginning. And you know, some of you may or may not know, and I didn't know this until just a month ago. I mean, maybe 2 months when you sent me the petition, and that's the ultimate goal for us tonight here is to get you to sign the petition that'll allow the Board of Supervisors to know how you feel about commercial pot growing coming into your neighborhood. And I ask you, if you live anywhere outside of maybe the residential area, how would you feel if you know, how many acres do we have next to us going to be over here, Kate?
They're going to have, I think it's something like 60 acres.
60 acres. That's a lot of pot growing.
Yeah, they can put one pot grow per acre. One acre grow per 10 acres. So that's that they could, technically speaking, almost reach 6 grows. I don't think it'll work out that way, but one alone is going to be a significant impact, and that's the one that's in the final stages of the application process. I actually have some updated information on that.
Do we? Well, we should tell people, first of all, there was a Board of Supervisors meeting last week?
Oh, no. I'll talk about that, but let me talk a little bit about how this all came to pass.
That's great. Yeah. Please, do that. Do that.
Well, as we all know, pot became legal in California. Everybody
in my lifetime, really?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see it. But...
And as we probably all of us who are a little gray-haired know, the CBD part of the cannabis plant has become particularly wonderful, and that is probably. I think they are estimating that is where the future of the millions to be made from the cannabis plant are going to come from.
Yes.
For all the marvelous things that the cannabis plant can do for medicinally. Not to say that there's nothing to be said for the toad.
Hey, it's a recreational, it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It is.
And they just found out, they just did some tests and said, well, if you're on CBD pot, it doesn't affect your driving, so you can take CBD and drive. So,
well, that's true. It's much more body oriented as opposed to head oriented.
Right. Yeah. So that's all the good news.
Yes.
And so all the pot growers, of which there are probably a whole lot of illegal ones who got an opportunity to go legal, and then a whole bunch of others that were probably more at the corporate level, looking for the opportunity to make.
Actually, the pot growers that I know couldn't afford to go legal.
Well, maybe it's
and that's no longer why it's even much of a valuable commodity. Right. It's the CBD
exactly.
that's the commodity, not the plant anymore.
Right. So, so everybody thought, well, cool, we're going to have legalized pot, and that was kind of the last that anybody at the, you and me level gave another thought to it.
Yeah.
Well, but a whole lot was happening as soon as those floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And people were coming from all kinds of different places to start shopping for land in this county.
Yep.
And why this county? Because this county, unlike any of the other 8 Bay Area counties, wanted to make this the cannabis tourist destination premier cannabis tourist destination in the country.
Why not? Food,
Why not?
wine,
We want exactly.
vineyards,
Yeah,
herb
sounds
vineyards.
great.
Does
Yeah.
sound great.
Sure.
In the right place, it could be.
Right. And of course, the county board of supervisors saw the amount of money that could be made from this, from the
And it's,
tax
if I'm
revenue.
not mistaken, it's something like 10 times the amount that they will make off of plant growing, pot growing, as opposed to vineyard growing.
No, it's a magnitude vastly simple.
Much more than that?
1 acre of grapes produces $7,000. 1 acre of cannabis produces $1 million.
There you go.
7,000 versus 1 million.
Tell them that right there.
7,000 versus 1 million. Which one would you buy? Which one would you grow?
Well, you know, it's a hard choice for me because I actually enjoy both immensely.
I know.
I might want to grow coffee beans, but I don't know how
Right.
that would work in our community.
I don't either. Anyway, why are we in the chicken egg business here? I mean, it seems
I
like
don't know. I don't know. We're just waiting for. I'm surprised all the chicken coops weren't turned into grow ops. That's what they're waiting for.
Oh, we should tell Bob that we're going to kick him out and turn this chicken farm back into a grow operation.
Well, hopefully Bob will check in over there.
Anyway, so a lot of people, a lot of companies started coming to Sonoma County and buying up land, and they could buy lots down to 10 acres to put on a grow operation.
Mm-hmm.
And a thought was given from the county to where these 10 acres were. In Sonoma County, if you look at it, particularly the area which is District 2 that we are in,
Right.
the particular nature of the smaller parcels that homesteads are on is such that there are sprinkles of 10 to 20 acres just all kind of sprinkled around in there.
Yeah.
So it would become inevitable that anybody, a grow operator, buying a 10 to 20 acre parcel would be nestled in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And further driving the problem here at Pepper Lane is that because of the drought, there are 4 water zones in this county, from good water recharge, moderate, not so great, and poor. Mm-hmm. And very recently, because of the drought, the 2 lowest ones were prohibited from their cannabis growers could not buy land for grow operations in the lowest 2, which then puts more of the pressure of purchasing and land in the other 2
Right.
water zones, of which we are in the second to top tier.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that the geological data, that this information about water recharge, groundwater recharge, is from data that dates back to 2002. So it's pretty old given the climate change impact on rainfall.
In the last
and
decade,
when we say
yes.
water recharge, we're talking rainfall. We're not talking snow melt down here.
Yeah.
It's rainfall.
Yeah.
And pot plants take something like 6 times the amount of water that
That's
a grapevine
what I understand
takes.
as well, yeah.
So they're going to take vastly more water than the vineyards do. And that's another serious concern.
Which
that
means
people are
basically, from
having.
what I understand, and you've lived on this property how long?
27 years.
27 years. So that's why, I mean, you're speaking really from the voice of experience here in this
Yeah.
world, because you've seen a lot of change. Actually, there hasn't been a lot of change,
I mean,
has
it's
there
really interesting. I'm now an old timer, which is like, wow. I mean, I've lived here long enough to be able to see climate change in action. You know,
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
growth in action.
Yeah.
You know, I can
Yeah.
see politics changing in action. It's really
Yeah.
something. So yeah, there's been steady growth just from a residential point of view in this area, which is, I mean, up until now, we were already concerned about the number of houses kind of coming in. 8 houses went up on the ridge line over there. You know,
Yeah.
another house went in over there.
Yeah.
And each house adds, pressure to our little area of wells.
Yeah.
And Sonoma County is 60% of us are on wells, of the residences are on wells. We're a well-intensive, which means rainwater recharge intensive county.
Right.
And this area here has the highest concentration of wells of any part of Sonoma
Well, that
County.
could be speaking to why they want to put their grow up here.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect, isn't it?
Sure. So now this neighborhood is a very stable neighborhood, long-time multi-generational families sprinkled in with newbies like me. I was one of the first newbies to come in 27 years ago.
I've been here 4 years, so
like one of those that came in from she came in from Berkeley. Oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
And then the next person household to change over, they came in from Marin County, and all the old timers were just shaking their heads, and they were really laughing at the amount of money we paid for the land, you know, because we were paying. I mean, this property, the neighbor down the road had an opportunity to buy it for $3,000 and turned it down.
Oh, really? Oh, God. Can you imagine?
So, can you imagine?
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
So, so times have changed.
Yeah.
But but it's always, you know, it's been this, what's happened, of course, is because of the increased value of properties, because here I come from an urban setting, educated, and so next people coming in. It's a different kind of people coming in who are buying these old properties for the bucolic landscape, you know, you know, they got the money to buy property, and so now these properties, which used to be just sort of, you know, rural, you know, farmer properties, are now $1 to $2 million properties.
Right.
And this is where the grow operators are going to be putting their pot plants, farms, right next to these multi-million-dollar properties.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, the neighborhoods are not too happy about this.
No, so, we're not.
No, for a whole lot of reasons. So the reason, water is a really big issue, but another really, really big issue is crime and safety. Yeah. These are, you know, I don't lock my door. I leave my keys in my car. I have for 27 years. There's been zero crime on this street the entire time I've lived here. Yeah. And if this operation comes in, that's over. Yeah. In the last 13 murders in Sonoma County, 11 of them were on pot farms. The last 13 murders in Sonoma
County, I didn't know that's a crazy number.
11 of them were on pot farms. Wow. On Pepper Lane, there was a previous pot farm, one of the more illegal ones because those were legalized, and it brought in guns and weapons being shot in homes, and so it's just a fact.
Well, you know, on that, I when I was reading up on this today, in the ordinance that they're revising to open this up to make it easier for them to come in, number one, nobody has to be notified. There is no public notice that they're going to do this.
Exactly.
And there's nothing you can do until they're actually up and running, and then you can
sue. Yeah.
That's which is the craziest thing.
Yeah, well, that's what's at the county level. There, what happened was that the current status of cannabis, it is not defined as an agricultural crop.
Right.
So that means that the people applying for permits to grow it have to go through a more drawn out application process.
Right, which includes the public around them.
And that also means that they have to notify the neighborhood, and there has to be a public hearing. But that the delays in the extension cost these grow operators there's a lot of money, and it's a headache for the county bureaucrats who have to kind of do all the work, the legwork of going through whatever these hoops are, which I don't know what they are.
Which we pay them to do, right?
Which we pay them to do.
Okay, I just wanted to say that. I mean, it's only fair. It's only fair that they're working for us.
And also, so the county would like to streamline things just to save themselves some headache. The grow operators certainly want to streamline things. And so the solution to streamlining things was to change the definition of cannabis in this county to make it an agricultural crop, because once it gets defined as an agricultural crop, then just what you said becomes true. There's no need to notify the public. There's no need to notify the neighborhood if a grow operator comes in and buys the land. And you have zero recourse at that point except to sue. So at least at this current status, the neighborhoods have to be notified. There was on April 15th the planning commissioners. There's 5 of them. Had to take a vote on whether to change this ordinance.
Do we know the results of that?
Yes, I know the results.
Tell us then.
There was a close vote because there's 5 commissioners, and 3 voted against changing the ordinance,
Right.
and instead said we need to do a further environmental impact study, which will take well over a year.
Oh, at least.
So, so it now gets kicked to the Board of Supervisors to make a decision, which will happen. They don't have a date, sometime in May. That those 5 people will then also.
Well, that's a good rallying point right there.
Right. So it's going to be close, as you can see. The Planning Commission, and I like to think and hope to think that the efforts that neighborhoods, and we're far from the only neighborhood. A lot of other neighborhoods.
We're just in the middle of it right now, but this is going to spread out through our entire county.
Spreading,
I can see it go through Guerneville. I can see it go through Cloverdale.
Right.
We're just the first
we're
to make
one of the
squeak about it.
Right. There's I don't know how, there's well over 100, maybe many more. They say there's hundreds of applications in the pipeline, literally hundreds.
Yeah.
And I think 110 have been approved already.
I saw a map in my research that showed the green points of all the ones that were projected and the ones that were approved, and it looks like every 10 feet.
It does. When you look at it, you go, oh my God, where's the non-pot growing land? It's like, whoa.
Clearly.
Really? Look at it. So, the safety thing is kind of interesting. We had our particular Board of Supervisors for District 2, which we're in, held 2 meetings with our neighborhood. Right. And so he did say he wasn't sure how the rest of the supervisors were going to vote on this, because he was very much against the idea of putting him in neighborhoods.
And what was that supervisor's name?
His name is David Rabbit.
Yeah, I want to make sure we were on that one.
So that's 1 out of 5. Not sure about the others at all. So anyway, here on Pepper Lane, getting back to the security thing, when David Rabbit held this Zoom meeting with the neighborhood, of which about 65, 70 people were on it, plus the 2 people, the owners that are who bought up all the land in the middle of the neighborhood. It is a husband and wife. They're both MDs. He's a plastic surgeon. They work out of Walnut Creek, I think, is where their office is. This is not their first grow operation project. They have at least one more in East Oakland, and I think they have one in someplace else in California. So they're veterans at bringing in grow operations.
And they're looking at potentially living here as well?
Well, the thing that has happened with them is that various neighbors would meet them randomly because they'd come to the land, and they would tell each neighbor something different about what they were up to, and none of what they said was putting in a grow operation. So they already established themselves as not being reliable about telling the truth.
Yeah, cool.
They were on the Zoom meeting, and they made the pitch that, we're here to create the CBD, we're going to create this greatest strain of pain, that was
good.
Which is fine and well.
No problem.
But doing it here, you're going to, because the thing is, when you build these things, they have high fences around them.
They have to. It's at least an 8-foot fence you can't see through.
Yeah, and they're covered with security lights that glow from a long distance at nighttime.
Yeah.
And the great irony about this was that the zoning in this area over the years I've lived here has been changed to try to preserve the rural, beautiful scenery of Sonoma County, and now they're going to turn around, do a 180, and put all of these.
I mean, I can imagine looking like a Stalag,
industrial,
like a German Stalag camp,
on all these, and all these beautiful hillsides.
Yeah,
it's like it's just a complete reversal on their.
Well, I get this makes me wonder when I hear this, and I got to ask when I think about the Board of Supervisors and what they're thinking. And I've sat in on some Board of Supervisor things with other things,
right.
And it's almost frightening at this point, but. I mean, how would anybody on Board of Supervisors feel if their neighbor, if right next to them,
thing came,
and if they can't ask that question of themselves and answer it honestly, they're the wrong person. They have no business being there,
right?
Because they're certainly not representing us; they're representing somebody else's interest.
Right.
So, right there, Board of Supervisors. What? I mean.
Well, anyway, so the other funny thing about this, the security is that. the security is the security for the grow operators. It's not security for the neighborhood around it.
Oh, no.
At all.
No, they're protecting product.
They're protecting
and investment.
product and investment, and we are the casualties. It brings in a tremendous increase in traffic, trucking, and even if it does become a tourist destination, you have all the tourism.
Well, that's what this ordinance provides for events as well.
Yes,
so they're actually saying events, which is, I mean, and this is the model that I saw coming years ago. I thought this would be happening.
Right.
I just didn't think it'd be happening in this area.
Right.
You know, very similar to what we've seen with the wine industry. You know, you have wineries, you have tasting rooms. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's just put them in the right places, and that's great. We wouldn't want a tasting room and a full thing opening up down there either, more than likely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a retired cop on this lane, and he had something kind of amusing to point out about this particular grow operation on Pepper Lane, because it's going to abuts Pepper Road, which is a very fast straight lane straight to Highway 101. He said it's going to make this be the #1 target for criminals coming in because it's such a great getaway setup. He said by the time the county of cops get out here, they'll be down already.
It literally takes me 5 minutes to get on the freeway from here.
Exactly.
5 minutes.
Like, what a dumb place to put a grow operation.
Well, that's probably their only downside.
Well, they probably thinking the reverse, like, oh, this will make it easy to truck our stuff to our processing plant.
Right.
Yeah, just as easy for the criminals to come in.
You know, something I read too in my looking through this stuff was the fact that in this ordinance provides the fact that there's not supposed to be any weapons on the property as well. They're not supposed to have guns on the property under this ordinance.
Yeah.
So what is the chances of that happening?
What are the chances of that happening?
I mean, another like what?
Right.
What? How can you even put?
I'm sure I don't have them to show, but the one of the people in the neighborhood managed to dredge up some images from the East Oakland grow operation that these
same
two
team?
the doctor team, and it shows them all with weapons.
Well, yeah, I would imagine the security there is going to have sidearms.
Yeah, so I mean, they're these dudes all tattooed doing this thing with their their big machine guns and looking real like, well, we're just it's like that's the energy that this attracts. That's what it's like.
Well, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
it really is.
The interesting, odd thing is that it looks as though the environmental impact report issue from the county's perspective is on air quality. And that's not something anybody much. I mean, we talk about the odor, how unpleasant that might be for people.
Right.
The skunk smell, and just think you're going. This is a winery destination, wine tasting. Oh, what's that smell? I'm trying to taste my wine.
I don't envision the wine industry and the herb industry combining together into one thing.
Yeah, it's like might throw off your nose, the bouquet of your wine. Bouquet of skunk.
If you're doing both at that point, it might not matter at that point. Throw a good restaurant in there, and I might be there. The point is, not here in Pepper Road and Pepper Lane.
So,
oh god.
Anyhow,
hey, you know what? I want to slow us up for a quick second because a couple people have chimed in, and I didn't want to, because a person named Squirrel Lips has already chimed in.
Squirrel Lips.
Okay. So they said, hey, cousin. So do you have a cousin named Squirrel Lips?
Not that I know of.
All right. Well, you must be a cousin of mine, and that doesn't surprise me because all my family has unusual names. So, welcome, and Jake chimed in earlier and said thank you for using your platform to help us. And
is this Jake on the lane?
Yeah.
Hi, Jake.
Dobrowski.
Yes.
I believe. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jake, for chiming in. Feel free to share this out there if you can and will. And actually, what we really want to do is encourage people to sign the petition. And know that you can find this petition very easily. I put already a link up to the No Pot on Pepper, a very well-built website supporting this cause beautifully. And you can find all the information that we're kind of telling you tonight, but you can read it there and back up our information. And you'll find a link on any of those sites that'll take you over to the petition to sign. You'll be able to find them there. And that's... Oh, this is my cousin, Terry from Oakdale. You see?
Hey!
See what happens when you do this? Mm-hmm. There you go, Terry. Hello. Squirrel Lips. That's funny. So yeah, that's just, if you want to find out more information, please do go to nopotonpepper.com and fill out the piece of information that we're looking to help us with.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I got totally went off to a family event with Terry. I was almost there with you in Oakdale, Central California.
Right.
Well, let's see. We talked a little about the increased crime. We're all concerned about that for
Right.
sure because of just the environment. And yes, as you know, we got kids on bicycles and motorcycles.
We got toddlers, 2-year-olds.
There's families who walk up and down this hill every single day for exercise.
Yeah,
it's just
going to be it's going to be radical to have that thing come in here.
Somebody has
Super
already,
radical.
and it wasn't me, has already gone out on Pepper Road and painted a no pot farm on Pepper Road.
Yep.
So I'm just saying this community is really upset about it, and we're trying to do whatever you can, but all you can do is make some noise.
Yes.
And
well, let's talk about the solutions to this.
Oh, there you go.
This is the problem, and the thing that's so sad about this is that the solution options would have been so straightforward had the county had the foresight to think about the consequences of putting these grow operations in neighborhoods and realize this isn't going to work. So what can we want to be the destination.
Yeah.
Jake, who's on this, made a very good suggestion to the doctor team when we had the Zoom that they were on, which is this is an industrial product. I mean, this is an industrial
this is an
product.
industry. Yeah.
It is an industry.
Yeah.
It's not agricultural in that sense. It's an industry. And therefore, what's one of the places that's most suited for it is industrial parks.
Yeah, warehouses.
Warehouses, because you get all this perfect infrastructure. You've got your water, you got your sewage, you got your roads, you got your lights, you got security.
Yeah.
And you don't have, and the odor, it doesn't affect rural neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So that would have been a no-brainer had they had the brains to think of it.
And as you look on this piece of information that I found, it's 2 years old, actually 2018, and you look and see how it's divided up with all the different counties around us. Most of them are only indoor grows.
Yeah.
It's only our county that's been singled out for 3 times the amount of footage than any other county in the Bay Area.
Well, I had another idea, which if you're not going to do it in the industrial places, but that you take parcels that are, say, 300 acres or up, and you get grow operators to come in like a shopping mall, and they put their grow operations on various places on that land, and they can share in the cost of the security and the roads and all that. I mean, they can, just like they would with a shopping center.
Oh yeah, very very much like that.
Get it out of where the roads are. That
I saw an image of beer tasting rooms all over the place where they all kind of like
exactly. Each one can have.
Now it's a destination.
Theme. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It makes it much easier for the tourism.
Yeah.
Then so that's my.
Which makes me wonder how much of a destination do they want this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Right.
But no, that's a really good point. That's a really good suggestion.
So. Why don't they?
Why don't they do that? Because that would be the smart thing to do. Hey, speaking of smart things, Bob Fabian just checked in.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he found us. And Bob says, sounds like the supervisors are steamrolling the commercial grows for income for the county. Yep.
Yeah.
Good point, Kate, about using the warehousing instead of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Okay. Absolutely.
So, I don't. I mean, I have the feeling that the particular doctors that purchased this, the LLC, they said that they're veterans at dealing with resistance.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to make.
They have lawyers.
They're not going to be affected in the slightest about
how we feel.
How we feel.
No, I'm
it
sure
doesn't reach.
Well, that's kind of already kind of evident, which is the trouble with the two different types of people: the I people and the we people. I like to think we're all we people in this community. We watch out for each other. We take care of each other. We see what's going on. And some I people come in who aren't really interested in that. They're only interested in what they want. It's like
it's very strange feeling. To have
it is. It really is. It's very counterculture for where
what the values that we have here.
Yeah. For the reason people moved in here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what is the couple's name who actually is being affected the most?
Yeah, Jake and Lauren, they bought that beautiful Victoria.
That is Jake. Oh, well, Jake.
And they're going to be flanked on 2 sides.
Yeah, so I can't drive by your house now down to Jake without thinking that. So,
Really
Well, all
tragic.
we can do is make some noise. All we can try to do is raise some awareness. This show does really good since I just started it on YouTube in carrying the point after the fact. So hopefully when we're done here, we'll have a chunk of information on video that we can continue to pass around, as a lot of people do with the things that come out of my tiny house. And it's all about conversation. And if there's going to be another Board of Supervisors meeting, as you said, coming
Yes.
up, that's a really good rallying point.
It is, and the Board of Supervisors is under what's the term? Anyway, the countywide No Pot in Neighborhoods group called SOS Neighborhoods hired a San Francisco law firm that put together a 62-page letter backed up by 1,000 pages of consultant documents to say that if you pass this ordinance, we're going to sue you.
Good.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Board of how the vote goes.
Yeah, well, it throws one more cog in their wheel.
It does.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, you know. I think if we just keep that pressure up and keep the word going out. I mean, honestly, you know, I had this conversation with Aaron, who's on a property as well today, about he's so tired of people he can't understand. I'm going, you know, I understand these people. They're eye people. They want what they want. But what I don't understand is a Board of Supervisors who regulates something that isn't for the community around them, for either their own interest or for the county's own financial interest, putting that above our well interest. And that's really where the blame falls on in this case to me. I can understand greedy people.
Yeah.
I can't understand people who are supposed to be serving us in the best sense possible.
Right.
And giving us results like this and so many other things. This is not unusual that I've seen.
No, it's not unusual.
No, it's not. So I don't know how to get the point across to them other than be involved in anything they're directly involved with, which would be another meeting.
Well, you had something you're going to show about the other counties. Can you show that?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
just to give an
no, it's really true because it's a really valid point.
It shows you the stark contrast between this county's politics position on this versus all the other Bay Area counties.
There
you can pull it up.
It's up now for him. Now you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go back to our image here in a second, but as I'm looking at this, it's like the counties that are listed here as commercial cannabis cultivations in the 9 Bay Area counties. I could go down each of them. Like, you can see them there, but Alameda has piloting 10 grows. Contra Costa, Marin, no growing whatsoever. Napa, no grow. San Francisco, indoor only, 22,000. San Mateo, greenhouse only indoors. Santa Clara, no. Solano County, no. Sonoma County, 43,000.
And that's up to 65,000.
It's now almost almost doubled in 2 years.
Talk about being an outlier.
So yeah, really.
You can't get more extremely different than that.
No, you can't. And so that's just.
But that's part of what they're trying to do. They're trying to like corner the market.
It is. Yeah. That's totally what it is.
Trying to corner the market.
And they can. I mean, with
all that from the other counties.
Yeah.
So yep. So that's
what we have is information. And information is power, and communication is power.
Right.
You know. Even in a tiny house. Even in a tiny house. Oh, my goodness. Where are we in our world here? Oh, we're doing really well. I'm glad Bob checked in. God, well, there are more subjects coming up that we can even continue to talk about because we've got well, we talked about the increased traffic. You know, the environmental consequences really too, because we haven't really talked about the runoff of pesticides and how they can affect all the ground animals. As we know, there's so many wild turkeys around us that you can hardly walk 20 feet.
I don't know if I wouldn't mind a few of them going to turkey heaven.
I won't start with the turkeys. Let me start with the llamas, okay?
Oh no, not the llama.
That's right. And by the way, if you missed the very opening of the show here tonight, we'll go back at the very end because I'm going to show another 2-minute clip of the video that Kate put together, and I put some audio to and edited from last spring.
Yes.
Here in Pepperland. So Kate's Pepperland tour, and right before.
Right.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So it kind of gave us a little glimpse of where we're at.
Well, the environmental impact report is going to happen, and air quality is an interesting piece of it because it's not one that's commonly talked about. The odor is,
Right.
but it evidently has an impact on the air quality itself.
In a negative way or a good way? I mean, in the Amazon, it's a very positive way. Is it a negative thing here?
I don't know much about that part of it.
I don't know either. I'd be interested to learn more of
but
that.
in the discussion with the planning commissioners when they made the vote 3-2, that was one of the themes that came up was the like a CEQA. They're the air quality board folks. So more to come on that one.
Well, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
'Cause I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But yes, it's going to have a big impact on our little peaceful lane.
I'm just kind of wondering. I mean, we can virtually look out the window. We're sitting here now, look down there, and virtually see where it's going to be. We're close.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have 4.
Right.
I mean, not 1, not 2, not 3.
Right.
But at least 3.
Is this going up on the other side of the hill?
Yeah.
So
right,
they're planning on going over the hill.
So there's 4. They have 4 possible grows because they got 4 lots that are 10 acres or more.
Wow.
And so they could put in a total of 4.
You know, I always thought it was going to be big tobacco that was going to take over this thing. You know, all the Marlboros and Winstons buying up all the pot names. I always thought it was going to be them, big tobacco taking over this.
Nope.
What do you know? It's big pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
God, how do
I'm surprised.
Next, the NRA will be involved, and we're going to be wondering what's really going on. Jeez, no, it's just scary. It's scary to me. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, let's check back over here so we have a little conversation here with Jake. We'll catch him up, and Bob check back in as well. Jake said the Board of Supervisors has their meeting to vote on this updated cannabis ordinance on May 18th.
All right.
Thank you, Jake. I'm going to keep that as in a note because, you know,
you can make public comments on those, I believe. So you tuning in.
I have sat in those when the Board of Supervisors was working out all the retirement stuff for the county a couple years ago, and it was heartbreaking watching 30, 40 people stand up and tell them the worst sad stories in the world, and having everybody in the Board of Supervisors sitting there looking at their watches, kind of going,
"Oh yeah,
how long do I have to keep doing this?"
I've seen the same happen.
It's
it is
crazy,
sad.
Crazy. So maybe that's a good point of why did confrontation pop into my mind? It's a good rallying point. I mean, people should go there. People should come.
Well, what happens in these Zoom meetings with the public comments is that people just start making, just like here, comments, and you just have to keep making your comments over and over and over again, or whatever your different comments are. And the more they they're probably going to do the math, like, 75 people were like pro-grow, and 82 were get them out of.
Well, in this Zoom meeting, Jake was there as well, right? Were there people who were of the opposite opinion we have? Were there people who were pro-grow? What was their rationale for that? They didn't live here.
Well, no, a lot of them don't.
That would be the issue.
Well, save our farmers. I mean, the thing is, this isn't small farmers. This is big corporate
this is an industry.
This is not small. I mean, I'm all for small farmers.
Yeah.
But I don't see that being what's going on here.
No, and I read one comment today on one of the replies from an editorial that was written, and the guy was basically saying, the people need this CBD. And putting that as of course they do.
Of course, yeah.
And that's not even the issue. And it's just like that. That's why when we started the show tonight, I prefaced it by saying this has nothing to do with our like or dislike for smoking marijuana or medical use. It has everything to do with where they're planning on doing this industry, and putting an industry in the middle of a rural country neighborhood is just wrong. So,
Amen.
We want you to sign the petition. So you can go to the nopotonpepper.com. That's a great center point. You can go to any of my Facebook connections. I pinned it at the top of all my pages. That would be facebook.com/tinyhouselive or Tiny House Live page. And I made it easy for you to find the petition. I've signed it. It was really quick and easy, very fast. And you can even donate $11, which is a wonderful thing to do, or share if you can't donate. Either way, getting the word out is a wonderful thing. Hey, my friend Shazandra just checked in. Already working on what else is going on. All right. She's working on something. She's wonderful. Thanks for being here, Shazandra. Love you for it. And Bob, Jake, thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got a few more minutes if there's anything we want to pull together in this conversation. I'm trying to think of if there's any other points of interest, I mean, obviously I've kind of pointed you to find out more information and sign that petition. The more people who sign the petition, by the way, they needed 1,500 signings on this petition, and we were like 125 short. So I would just it would just blow my mind if this show could help roll that number closer to the completion within the next week. Would be a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. Big thumbs up from Shazandra. Okay. Did you sign? Did you sign the petition? I assume you did. I know you did. What else have I got over here? I'm making any notes. Kind of already covered them.
Yes, on the there, as I said, there are more and more neighborhood groups popping up, and there is a county-wide one as well. SOSneighborhoods.com.
And there's also another. It's toomuchcannabis.com. Is another one.
That's another one.
Right.
Yep.
And there's 2 or 3 Facebook groups concerning the same thing that you can find on kind of extensions on No Pot on Pepper, where we're all kind of grouping together.
Yes. And I look forward to some big event. Outdoor.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Big outdoor fete.
I think we could have a big party from our house up here on the top of Pepper Lane down to Jake's at the bottom of Pepper Lane, and we can call everything in between part of our awareness party. So let's think about that, Jake. By the way, I happen to have a sound system.
Boy, do you ever have a sound system?
And a projector, and obviously a broadcast facility. So I'm a dangerous man. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And we're going to dress up Louis the Llama in his little red bow tie.
He does need a red bow tie.
He does.
His power tie.
His power tie.
Llama power tie. Now, this place makes me smile, makes me laugh. We have a stairway we just put in the backyard that goes nowhere. Just goes up into a tree. That just says something right there. Oh my goodness! But yeah, I mean, if I think maybe we should look at around that May 18th. That's pretty soon. The May 18th.
Right.
Something needs to happen on the May 18th. That's all I'm going to say at this point.
Well,
whether we band together here, there, or we all go to the Board of Supervisors and ascend on a Board of Supervisors meeting, which is really kind of a good thing to do. By the way, I will have cameras and I can go live at the Board of Supervisors meeting. That'll freak them out. They said, can you carry guns? I know you can't carry guns in there. Can you carry cameras into a Board of Supervisors? I don't think you can.
No, not in this, unfortunately, it's COVID times. You're not going to, can't even put your nose in the door.
Yeah, well, that's true. Everything is still Zooming, isn't it? Well, maybe that'll be changed by the May 18th one. Possible.
Maybe.
Possible. I just don't find the Zoom things very communicative, and certainly not for creative purposes like I've been asked to do for musicians performing together and all that kind of stuff.
It's
I mean,
tough.
And I know teachers are all having to use it, and I shied away from it. I can basically tell you that I have not Zoomed. I'm a Zoom virgin. I really am. I haven't. I've Skyped.
Yeah.
All right, I've Skyped, but I'm not going to walk. I'm not going to do the Partridge Family squares.
Well, whatever form it's in, we do need to show up. That's the important thing.
Yes. So let's I do my Tiny House Live show right here every Wednesday, high from Petticoat, and every week I'm going to kind of keep us updated on this because it's going to keep moving towards some sort of resolution. And either way, we're going to see it through together because that's what we do here. And I'm just.
Well, it's also been wonderful, the neighborhood coming together here. I know.
Yeah. Another reason I'd like to see a gathering, so we can actually kind of instead of Zooming and Skyping, we can actually face each other, even with masks.
Yes.
So we'll get a couple folk singers out who can sing some good political folk songs.
I even started to make it. I actually started to think of a song to write. I was surprised. It inspired me. Yeah.
That's your next visit in here, by the way. Next time you come in, I'm going to put you back in Studio K. That's my kitchen.
Oh,
Studio K, and we'll set you up just like that. By the way, a big thanks to because Eric will be checking into this later more than like. I had Eric Martin in here last Thursday with the band Mr. Big. I want to throw out some big loves to Eric Martin and Tony Stouffer and Mike Whittington for coming in and just kind of we laid down 2 hours of conversation about rock and roll history. These are all on my Viral Media Art YouTube page, which you're watching right now. Remember to subscribe to that, and you can see some really interesting things that I do in here. And I even did a 420 sound check last night just to prove the point because it was 420, dude.
Okay.
Hey, I'm pro in all directions except industries in my backyard. That's where I draw the line. Well, let's look for more information as we'll put out there toward the May 18th.
Sure. Sounds good.
And anything we need to catch up on over here? Shazandra said, "Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd ever be saying too much about cannabis?" Well, you know, I can't even give it away these days.
No,
don't grow it.
No,
anybody who's growing it certainly isn't growing it to smoke it. It's
the future is in CBD.
It is.
Yeah,
it totally is.
Yeah.
And more power to it. It's fantastic. Put it in warehouses, make everybody happy.
Yeah,
that's it right there. You know, all indoors. It'd be just fantastic. I think they want a lot of outdoor stuff though.
Well, the reason for the outdoor interest in outdoor is it takes a lot more energy. There's a larger footprint.
Going indoor.
Growing indoor.
Yeah. The 1,000-watt metal halides.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of power, no doubt. But then look at what they're making. They can afford it, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, there you go. Money makes money.
Right.
Yeah, it's still better.
I think it's the point of view as being the pollution of
right.
You know, for that. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What can I tell you? Oh, I know what I can tell you. I can tell you that next Wednesday I've got my friends Tim Sawyer and Sam Hamby coming in, and they're going to sit right back there in my studio and play some acoustic guitar and entertain me and you right here on Tiny House Live next Wednesday. What a fun little place this is! Did you ever know you'd have a venue?
No.
Here on your property?
Well, we got to do the chicken playing the xylophone one.
Oh, we've got some great chicken stuff. We really do. There's talk of chickens playing xylophones with little chicken hands you can put on them, and I still want to do the chicken races because I think cameras watching them come and cameras watching them go, and when they race from one point to another in the morning when they first get out, I'm seeing some serious track betting.
Right.
Chicken racing right here on Tiny House Live. Oh, all right, squirrel lips. Thanks for tuning. Hey, Grayson Steele just checked in. There you go. Thanks for sharing this information. Petition signed. Thank you, Grayson. Good man.
Good man.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. I got some soup for you over here if you want to bring a bottle of wine.
There you go.
That shows you how close we are in this county. All right, my friends. I think we're going to jet on out of here and enjoy the rest of the evening in our little world that we live in here, high in the hills of Petition. And thank you very much for being here. Say good night to the folks right there.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Tight.
Sleep tight. Welcome. All right. Good night to you, folks. Thanks again.